All right. Good evening. I'll call the City Council meeting to order. It's 5 p.m. City Clerk, may I have roll call, please?
I'm here.
Councilmember Gerson,
Present.
Councilmember Kaji,
Here.
Councilmember Kalani,
Present.
Councilmember Lewis is absent, Councilmember Matucci is absent, Councilmember Shake,
Present.
Mayor Chen.
Present. The council will now recess to closed session to confer with the city manager and city attorney on agenda matters listed under 13A, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation. 13B, real property, conference with real property negotiator. And 13C, conference with labor negotiator. A closed session on these matters is authorized by California Government Code Section 54956.9D1, 54956.8, and 54957.6. Will return after closed session. Thank you.
You're live, Mayor.
All right. Good evening. We will reconvene our city council meeting. It's 6:35 p.m. I want to welcome everyone joining us in the council chamber, as well as those watching remotely. Assistant City Manager, do we have anything to report out?
Good evening, Mayor. Danny Santana, City Manager's Office. There's nothing to report out. Thank you.
Moving on to the flag salute invocation. We honor those. Got it. And scratch what I just said. City Clerk, can we do another roll call?
Councilmember Gerson,
Still here.
Councilmember Kaji,
Here.
Councilmember Kalani,
Present.
Councilmember Lewis,
Present.
Councilmember Matucci is absent, Councilmember Sheikh,
Present.
Mayor Chen.
Present. All right, moving on to flag salute and invocation. We want to honor those who make it possible for us to be here today. If there's anyone in the audience who is on active duty or a military veteran, will you please stand and raise your hand so that we may recognize you? Please remain standing and all arise, and I will lead the flag salute, and Councilman Sheikh will lead us in the invocation. Ready? Begin.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the name of God, the most gracious, most merciful, Master of the day of judgment, you alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Guide us along the path of those you have blessed, not those you are displeased with or those who are astray. As we gather to conduct the people's business in this sacred chamber, may we approach our work with clarity, fairness, and respect. Let us listen carefully to one another, consider all perspectives, and remain mindful of the impact our decisions have on the community we serve. May our discussions be thoughtful, our actions transparent, and our choices guided by a commitment to the well-being, safety, and future of the city of Torrance. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you. Moving on to item 3, announcements of withdrawn, deferred, or supplemental items.
Thank you, Your Honor. Danny Santana, City Manager's Office. There are no withdrawn, deferred materials. There is supplemental material available on the city's website at torranceca.gov for the following item. Agenda item 8F, Parks and Recreation Commission and Community Services approving pickleball court policies at Wilson Park. Expenditure is none. Thank you, sir.
All right. Moving on to item 5, council committee meetings and staff announcements. Councilman Sheikh, I think the first one's yours.
Thank you, Mayor. On November 13, 2025, the Strategic Plan Committee held a meeting to receive an update from city staff on several items of business. The strategic plan includes 11 strategic priorities, 57 goals, and 249 sub-goals. 95 sub-goals are strategic, while 154 are operational. During the period of April 2025 and September 30th, 2025, 41 sub-goals were accomplished, including 14 strategic and 27 operational. The number of items in the achieved category increased from 168 to 209. 84% of the 249 sub-goals, and the number of on-track items reduced from 80 to 40 and moved to achieved category. The status of all goals are publicly available on torranceca.gov under Equivalent. Additionally, the committee examined the finance department's expanded use of Equivalent to track and coordinate advancement of the council-adopted budget key performance indicators. The committee also received an update of the community profile and environmental conditions assessment and statistically valid survey being overseen by the Community Development Department. This midpoint review is planned to be the spotlight feature of the committee's next semi-annual meeting. The Strategic Plan Committee concurred with staff's recommendation to accept and file the Strategic Plan update. As chair of the Strategic Plan Committee, I'd like to thank all of the involved city departments and staff of their work. The committee's recommendation will be forwarded to the City Council on December 2025. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Councilwoman Kalani for reminding me that I skipped item 4. I must have had too good a vacation the last couple of weeks. Item 4, I'll take a motion to waive further reading of resolutions, ordinances after number and title.
Motion to waive further readings.
Second.
Start voting, please. Your Honor, that motion carries with Councilmember Matucci absent.
Thank you. I think the next one is Councilman Sheikh. You're up again.
Thank you, Mayor, again. I request the Council's concurrence to bring forward an agenda item on the design and signing of our ceremonial and proclamation certificates. Currently, the long-standing practice has been for these certificates to be signed by the mayor. While this has been the past practice, there have been occasions when we have issued certificates with signatures from full city council. Let us establish a consistent standard moving forward. I'm requesting concurrence that staff return with an item that would revise our policy so that all ceremonial and proclamation certificates are signed by the entire city council, maintaining the mayor's signature at the top, while the remaining council member signatures presented side by side beneath it, and explore modest design updates to the certificate format that would accommodate this layout without any or significant expense. When we look at how other cities present their official recognitions, our current certificates appear basic and do not fully reflect the professionalism and stature of our city. A unified signature block and an updated, modernized design would strengthen the impact of the recognitions we issue on behalf of our community. I respectfully request our concurrence to bring this item back to the council for consideration. Do I have a concurrence?
It's a 5-1, so there's concurrence.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Lewis, you got the next one.
Thank you. Good evening. The award-winning Torrance Rose Float Association has requested additional funding in an amount not to exceed $60,000 for the 2026 Rose Float Parade entry. Given the time constraints and the limited number of council meetings remaining this year, I am requesting that we consider this item directly at the city council meeting scheduled for 12/2, rather than referring it first to the Citizens Development and Enrichment Committee. As the chair of the Citizens Development and Enrichment Committee, I'm seeking concurrence from my colleagues to proceed in this matter so we can review and act on this request promptly so we can showcase to the world the Torrance Rose Float for 2026. Thank you.
Six oh. Okay, I think anyone else? I guess I will share briefly, since I'm the one that was absent last week, last council meeting. I was on vacation, but one thing that while being on vacation in Taiwan, I did have the opportunity to visit one of our friendship cities in Tainan, and I thought it was going to be a quick office visit, but the mayor of Tainan graced us with a certificate indicating that the city of Tainan will be naming a street in the Tainan as City of Torrance Street. So I thought I'd share that, and that was very nice of him. And they have interest also looking at potential opportunity to also join in the friendship game baseball if there's an opportunity possibly to make that happen. So I thought I'd just share that with you. Felt very honored and very thankful from that gesture from the Tainan City Mayor. Moving on to community matters, item 6A. It is my pleasure to announce the Torrance Theater Company's holiday production is underway and is already selling out. To tell us more about it, I'd like to welcome the staff from our Torrance Cultural Service Division to the podium. I believe that's you, Gia.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Gia Jordahl, Senior Supervisor, Cultural Services Division, Artistic Director for the Torrance Theater Company. We are really excited about everything this season. We started off with Little Shop of Horrors, a complete sold-out run with an added show sold out. And now we're really excited to say of our 15 performances of our Christmas show, we only have 3 shows remaining with tickets. So A Nice Family Christmas is a holiday story about a dysfunctional family. And I read this show and I thought maybe we could all relate to that on some level. So it is a light, fun story that is going to open on December 6th. And currently it's going to run through December 21st. The only dates that have tickets left are December 20th and December 21st. And tickets are available on the website, torrancetheatercompany.com. And we would love to have the community come out and celebrate the holidays with us with this fun show. And I'm also very excited and honored to tell you that for the first time in 26 years now of season subscribership, we have reached our original goal of wanting to hit 500 subscribers. So now we are at 516 subscribers for this season, which is more than 70% of our shows being sold out for the rest of the season just with that. So it's a great time to come and be part of the Torrance Theater Company, and this holiday show promises to be something very special. So we encourage everyone to come out and join us.
Great. Well, thank you, Gia, and congratulations to the entire Torrance Theater Company team.
Thank you.
Just want to make sure we're not skipping anything, but it looks like we're done with that section. Moving on to oral communications, number 1. This portion of the meeting is reserved for comments under items under the consent calendar or items that are not on the agenda. Under the Ralph M. Brown Act, City Council cannot act on items raised during public comment, but may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed, request clarification, or refer the item to staff. Speakers under orals are limited to either oral communications number 1 or oral communications number 2, and no longer than 1 minute per speaker. Time starts when you step up to the microphone. If presenting handout materials to the council, please provide 11 copies to the city clerk before speaking. Handouts will be distributed while you speak. At my script, it doesn't have anything else for me to say right now. Do any council members wish to pull any items listed under the consent calendar?
Your Honor, that was oral communications.
Oh.
I have 2 speakers.
Okay.
Arnold Goldstein.
Yeah, I guess I am rusty.
My name is Arnold Goldstein. I live at 4406 Scott Street, Torrance. I'm here to speak in support of renaming Columbia Park under Congressional Medal of Honor winner Ted Tenaway, the only resident of Torrance that's ever received that honor. Torrance was a restricted city when Jared Sidney Torrance started it in 1921. It didn't become open until 1955 under the Unruh Fair Housing Act. Even after that, I read an article where my street, there were demonstrators because Don Wilson, the builder, was trying to discourage non-whites from buying the homes. I think that this would go a long way to show that this is an appropriate action for a Congressional Medal of Honor.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Your time is up. Your microphone got cut out, sir. But I think the council heard his entire support for the renaming of, I believe, Columbia Park.
Charlie Salinas.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of all the veterans and guests that attended the Veterans Luncheon, we had a wonderful afternoon, and I want to thank the city again and all the people that worked on it. There were 18 resource booths before the luncheon started, which helps veterans get things that they need. And there were 18 tables out in the courtyard, wonderful food served. Every table had a big white cake on it. Oh, it was delicious. And, you know, it's not just the expense that the city goes through, but the pride that the staff expresses to us for making us feel proud for being veterans. And what a wonderful city that all this can happen and come together. And I love you guys.
Well, we appreciate all of your service.
Signed up.
All right, we still have a little time. Are there anyone who wishes to speak who did not sign up? Just please step up to the microphone.
Hello, this is Bev Finley from the Torrance Rose Float Association. I wanted to announce that we have already sent out all the information for the design contest for the 2027 float. It was sent out to all the high schools and the school district, and we're hoping to see a lot of entries for this next year. I have copies here for you can see what was sent to the schools. Ever since our students have been designing the floats, we have won, so we have to keep this up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Roseanne. I'll let you have it.
Hi, Roseanne Villalobos, the Torrance Rose Float, and I want to thank you all for bringing up the additional funds that we need to complete the float. That would be awesome. And to let everyone know that we still have 9 tickets left to ride the bus down to Pasadena and watch the parade in person, so you don't have to deal with any driving. We have a decorators meeting coming up this Thursday at the Garden Center room at 7 o'clock. If anyone would like to become a decorator, or you can also find it online. We also have our rose vials. If anyone would like to dedicate a rose vial, it's a $10 donation, and your rose vial goes on the float, goes down Colorado Boulevard. And our dry cut day is, the first one is this Saturday, so we're ready to go. We're starting it up. And yeah, we're gonna have a great year. Thank you.
Roseanne, can I ask for one clarification?
Yes, sir.
There's 9 tickets left so that the public who might be interested.
Correct.
How much does it cost to ride on it?
$160. And that is the bus.
$160?
Yes, $160. The bus will pick you up at Wilson Park, take you down. You get a program, water, and then after the parade, it brings you back to Wilson Park.
Okay, maybe I asked the wrong question. You said there are 9 tickets left to ride on the float.
No, 9 tickets to go see the float. Did I say ride on the float? We already have all of our riders.
Okay.
Some of you are riding.
Okay.
And there's always next year.
Okay, I just misunderstood what you're saying, the 9
Okay.
tickets. I thought you were asking for more riders.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
thank
we're
you.
good. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else wish to speak on oral communications number 1 who haven't spoke yet? Okay, then we will move on to the consent calendar. Do any members of the council wish to pull any items from the consent calendar? Councilman Shake?
Thank you, Mayor. Can I pull item 8I, please?
8I. Okay, 8I. Anyone else? Just want to let city clerk know I can't clear the screen.
Mayor. Danny Santana, City
Oh,
Manager.
yes, there's at least two items I need to pull,
Correct.
and that's
8D and 8L.
8D and 8L. Those we must pull to go over publicly. All right. Councilman Sheikh, did you have another one?
I have another one, 8K, please, as well. So 8I and 8K, please.
Okay, let's make sure I got the numbers right. 8D, 8I, 8K, 8L. Did I capture all of them? All right. City clerk may I have number and titles for 8E. I guess I can't do 8L and M yet. And the 8E, and I'll take a motion to approve all items on the consent calendar other than 8,
So moved.
8D, L, and M.
So moved.
Second.
A little bit tricky today.
Before we take a vote, I'll read the two resolutions that you're adopting with the approval of the consent calendar. Resolution number 2025-70, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Torrance, California, authorizing city manager execution of the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control Local Law Enforcement Grant Agreement. And resolution number 2025-72, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Torrance, California, amending resolution number 2024-69, setting forth hours, wages, and working conditions for certain full-time and salaried employees effective November 18th, 2025. Start voting, please.
Thank you.
That motion carried with Councilmember Matucci absent.
All right, so let's start with item 8D. Was that pulled, or did I do it by mistake?
D?
Yeah.
No, mine is 8I.
Oh, okay.
Your Honor, I'll cover AD.
Okay.
Your Honor, members of the City Council, Carlos Weezer, our Management Associate with the City Manager's Office. Item 8D is a recommendation of the City Manager and City Treasurer that City Council adopt a resolution amending Resolution Number 2018-11, modifying the wages, hours, and working conditions for the City Treasurer. This modifies the current pay point for the City Treasurer from $5,424 monthly down to match to the Mayor and City Council compensation amount of $2,860 per month. This would be effective July 14, 2026.
Do any members of the council have any questions or comments? I don't see any. I'll take a motion to adopt the resolution and approve the modification of city treasurer's monthly pay.
Public comment?
Actually, the public comment on this one was actually during oral communications 1. Am I correct, City Attorney?
That is correct, per the agenda.
Yeah. So I guess if you want to make a public comment on this, you could wait for public comment number 2, but this would have been decided already. I'm sorry. This. Okay.
Make a motion to.
Oh, hold on. Councilman Kaji.
Just a point of clarification. The change in the salary for the position of city treasurer will take effect July 14, 2026. So this would be after the term of the city treasurer. Is that correct?
Councilmember Kaji, Carlos Weezer, Management Associate with the City Manager's Office. That is correct. This would go into effect starting the new election term, which would be July of 2026. So this would not affect the current service term for the city treasurer at this time.
Thank you.
Councilman Gerson.
One more question of clarification. So this sets it permanent, and if at any time minimum wage changes, the council compensation changes in accordance, but a whole new resolution would have to be adopted to alter the treasurer's position to match council. So this is just setting it at the current amount. So it's not fluid.
Councilmember Gerson, that is correct. This would, any changes to the compensation for mayor or city council would require a resolution amendment, and the same would be said for the city treasurer. So we would modify that resolution at that time.
It sounds like it moves together, but they both need a resolution?
No,
Your Honor,
actually,
I think so.
that's incorrect.
Yeah.
It's, the city council is tied to minimum wage, so it moves as minimum wage it moves. This one is set at a pay point, so it would stay unless modified by the council.
Okay. At least it's clear what's written. I'm just giving my colleagues opportunity right now. Councilman Kaji.
Okay, so just to be clear for myself and to the public, that this pay point is irrespective of the council's current minimum wage remuneration. That's correct?
Correct. It is set at 2860 as an exact pay point. It is not tied to minimum wage. They just said it's currently the same as city council, but the wage is set at a pay point here. It is not tied to minimum wage for the city treasurer.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Lewis.
Just also as a point of clarification for probably the city attorney, in the future, should future councils decide to increase the amount that the city treasurer receives because of workload or whatever other circumstances, then they could do that because it is a pay point and not tied to minimum wage.
Correct. They would just modify this resolution.
Perfect. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you.
I just want to give you guys some thought. I know sometimes people think about it and then they click in. All right. Looks like we have a motion and a second potentially.
Start voting, please. Your Honor, that motion carries with Councilmember Kaji voting no and Councilmember Matucci absent.
Let's see, what's the next one?
8I, Mayor.
Aye? Okay. On Public Works?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for bringing this item to the council, and I think this is a very important one, just one for public awareness. Please let public know the impact for this change, for this fiber network that we'll have in the city of Torrance. How will that impact the flow of our traffic?
Good evening, Councilman Sheikh. I'm Helen Shi from Public Works. The change of the projects really is bringing the higher or reliable fiber network to connect all the signals. Currently, our city manage 127 signals, but they're not really on a reliable connection to the traffic management center. About 40 intersections are connected, but the rest of them we have no connection. It's because our radio is not reliable and the wire connection is not currently ideal. So the fiber project basically connecting all the signals with a reliable network.
So let me just go back, and for public awareness, this item was to award a consulting services agreement for the design of Torrance fiber network and traffic signal optimization.
Yes.
Correct. So when we say traffic signal optimization, what does that mean?
Because currently the intersections are not connected to the traffic management center on a reliable network. So we don't have real-time traffic monitoring system. We can't monitor any intersections. If we have a fiber network, we can do video streaming, or we can do a real-time monitoring of the traffic, and we can get feedback of how many or what is the traffic demand for each direction. Then the system can adjust to provide more green time or less green time, depends on the demand. But currently, because our connection is pretty poor, we don't have that capability.
Thank you, Helen. I think that's what I was alluding. If we make this change, it will improve the traffic, the flow of traffic, because we are now connecting, and it's based on the traffic, we'll be able to control and maneuver in a way to have the traffic signals in sync.
Yes,
and have more
exactly.
Okay.
Also, it will provide reliable system and so reduce the staff time to fix the intersection, because your response time is better. It's better for the emergency vehicles too. And in the long run, it reduces the cost, overall cost.
Okay. Thank you again for clarification. And this fiber network has nothing to do with the Hawthorne, because we do not control, or we do not have those control to the Hawthorne traffic signals, correct?
Currently Hawthorne belong to Caltrans.
All right. So what this change is not an impact on Hawthorne.
It has better benefit to Hawthorne in future, because we are going to keep facility close to the Caltrans facility. So if Caltrans decided, or somehow we in future has opportunity to manage the intersections near or on the Caltrans property, then we can connect the whole system right away.
Okay.
So it's ready network.
Okay. Better connectivity.
Yes.
Better. Okay. Thank you. Thank you again for the clarification. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Or if not, we'll take a motion.
I move that we accept 8I.
Second.
Start voting, please. Your Honor, that motion carried with Councilmember Matucci absent.
Thank you. I believe we're on item 8K, am I correct?
You're right, Mayor.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you again. Thank you for providing the annual summary. I just have a couple. First of all, I like to recognize the library commissioners for producing that and doing great job, great work. My only question is that I saw that there were some initiatives were done to promote the traffic of the libraries, but I didn't see what actions were taken. Would you please elaborate what were done, what actions were taken to improve the traffic on the public libraries? Thanks.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, and Councilmember Shake, City Librarian Heather Cousin. And with me tonight is the chair of our Library Commission, Peter Lefebvre. He was not chair last year, but he is chair currently. There were many different initiatives that we took on behalf of increasing traffic at the libraries. And we did receive today from the State Library an infographic that outlines what our statistics were for last year. And I can share with you, just by way of kind of underscoring what happened at the library last year. There were over 800,090 checkouts of items and materials at the library over last year, which is an increase overall over the last few years, and over 131,000 downloads of electronic resources, which again just speaks to how much work our library staff are doing to increase the usage of our library. So some of the things that we've been doing and took particular attention and care to, and what our our Library Commission has assisted us with is raising and elevating the face and I'm losing my words, the visibility of those items and materials that we have, helping us to get that information out there, whether it's by helping to publicize our events and our programs through not just social media, but by word of mouth, and Chair Lefebvre can speak to that as well, or by helping to promote the things that we do have on social media. We work very closely with the city's communications team to amplify that voice that we have on our social media. But I will also like to turn things over to our chair so he can talk to you a little bit more about specifically what the commission does to help get that information out there.
Thank you.
Let's say it's a big order. Mr. Mayor and council members, first of all, I want to say that this past Monday, we had our monthly meeting at El Retiro Library, where in April 1971, I received my first library card. I only say this to say that after 50 years of use and paying literally thousands of dollars in fines, I remain convinced that the library is one of the crown jewels of our city and is spectacularly an enhancement of the quality of life of our citizens. And so I feel very comfortable on behalf of the commission saying thank you to you and to the council for whatever support you give to the library to sustain this vital community service. We do whatever we can. We meet regularly. We approve bookmarks, but we spread the word. And I think that that's the critical point. Advocating for literacy, advocating for the services for the library, advocating for using it in the way that enhances people's lives. It is more than just a collection of books. And the more that we get that message out to the people, the more it's going to be used. And you see in the report that it is used mightily by our citizens. And I don't know if I could answer any more than that, other than to say I am largely a cheerleader, but I try and be a vocal one. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Lefebvre. I just have one quick question.
Yes, sir.
First of all, thank you for your service. Thank you for bringing on-foot traffic to our libraries. Thank you for your efforts. Do you have anything that's brand new for this year that you brought to the library that we didn't have before in the last 2-3 years, if you can think of? If not.
My goodness. I would defer to our librarian.
Sure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you, Councilmember Sheikh. We have brought a few new services and projects to the library. Right now, we have sensory kits that you can check out. These are for everyone, but they specifically appeal to those who may be neurodivergent. So they are things that our library staff have put together after receiving training through a grant from the California State Library. And these are, they come in a great little backpack that you can take and check out. You can take them with you anywhere. They're a nice, clear, see-through thing so you can see what you're getting. And they focus on particular senses. So you can get something that will focus on sound or the different five senses. So they're visual, or they might deal with my words are leaving me tonight. Touch, they're all different things. They come with a book, they come with the different manipulatives and all different kinds of things. They've been extremely popular, so if you don't see them at the library, that's because they're out in the community. That's one thing. We also have telescopes that you can borrow, and we continue to do a very brisk business on our state park backpacks and our state park passes, which enable you to get a entrance into our state parks across the state of California. You get free admission for the day.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you both.
I will share a few things. I don't think it's new, but it's probably, I'll call it discoveries that our service has that I'm guessing, since I'm discovering it, some people may think it's new. I mean, I've used it. If you're, for example, when I decided to watch Top Gun Maverick for the 5th time, I just went on electronically on my library app, searched for it, and I reserved it. I walk in and I take it. I'm pretty sure that's not new, but I'm just saying I discovered that we had that feature. So that is nice. I don't have to walk down there. And the other one is there's also a feature with the app. You can go in. You can actually read a Daily Breeze newspaper. Don't have to pay subscription. So I'm assuming that's been there. It's just that, you know, some of us just have to discover we do have features. There's other things. I'm just
Yes.
naming you a couple that I discovered, and I thank you for
Thank you, Mr.
providing
Mayor.
service.
That is true. We have an app that you can download in both the Apple App Store and in the Google Play Store. And from that app, almost everything at the library is available right on your phone, including the ability to check out items on your phone. You can just do it right there from wherever you are in any one of our 6 locations. And you can also return your items on your phone. So if you're on the run and you want to put something on hold, as you mentioned, you can do that. But you can also check it out and be on your way and just move along about your day.
Or if I want to watch a movie for the 6th time, I just hit renew. Boom,
Exactly.
done.
And we also have a lot of downloadable services. You can even watch a movie with one of our services like Hoopla or download a book from our Overdrive.
Councilwoman Lewis.
Just to add on what Mayor Chin said, is that the reason I can't rent the movie? Because you have it tied up the whole time? Can we get some couple extra copies? I also wanted to add on to what he had to say. I read like most of the national newspapers that you can get, and also the magazines are absolutely wonderful to be able to do it. The app is Libby if anybody wants to download it. And I think that we do need to promote that out into the community a little bit more to realize I borrowed a textbook off of here the other day. So, yeah, I love the offerings that we're able to do.
Yeah, what kind of movies you both are renting? I'm just kidding.
I will
almost got
add
my Netflix subscription almost.
I thank you, Councilmember Lewis, for bringing that up. And I will add one of the things that we have been very grateful for in just the past few months with a very concerted effort on social media and reaching out into the community. We have received a 4,000% increase in the connectivity that we've had in the community. And this is thanks to our management aide, Sophia Sa, who has been very, very proactive and very, very focused on really making that strong connection with the community. And that has been not just advertising our events and our programs, but also really focusing in on a lot of the resources that you've mentioned tonight. So we not only have those magazines and those books that you've mentioned that you can download, but we also have them in a variety of languages. And we also have a language app through Mango Languages. So if you want to learn how to read those magazines and resources in a variety of languages, you can also download that as well. And
I
take
tried
that on the
Mango
go.
before we took our trip for our Sister Cities trip. It did not go well for me, but it was a great opportunity to
Come in, we'll help you use it. It'll work.
We had Councilman Kaji, so I just used him.
That works too.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve item 8K.
Go ahead.
Oh, motion to approve item 8K.
Second.
Start voting, please. Your Honor, that motion carried with Councilmember Matucci absent.
All right. Just want to make sure. I think next one is item 8L from the city manager's office.
That is correct, Your Honor. Carlos Huizar, Management Associate with the City Manager's Office. Item 8L is a recommendation of the City Manager that City Council adopt a resolution setting forth the wages, hours, and working conditions for the City Manager. This will approve a modification to the City Manager's monthly pay point to the amount of $30,988.94, which is a salary increase of 9%. And then also, as a third action, repealing the existing resolution 2025-09 in its entirety.
Any comments or questions from the members of the council? I don't see any, so I'll take a motion to adopt the resolution and repeal the old resolution's entirety. And I guess the city clerk, did you already read the resolution number title for us? Maybe you could read that first.
This is resolution number 2025-71, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Torrance, California, setting forth the hours, wages, and working conditions for the city manager effective October 5th, 2025, and repealing resolution number 2025-09.
Motion to adopt resolution 2025-71 and repeal resolution number 2025-09.
It looks like Councilman Shake seconded that.
Yeah, I believe Councilmember Shake seconded. Your Honor, that motion carries with Councilmember Matucci absent.
And I believe Councilman Shake was did you pull 8M or I just have it on here? Okay. I think that's it then.
That's
Okay,
correct, Mayor.
All right. I have a lot of scribbles here, and I wasn't sure if this is an old one or a new one. All right. Okay, we're moving on to administrative matters. Item 10A from the City Council State Legislative Advocacy Committee. Is there a staff presentation?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. Irene O'Neill, Staff Assistant in the City Manager's Office. Item 10A is a recommendation of the City Council State Legislative Advocacy Committee and City Manager to accept and file the October 22nd, 2025 City Council State Legislative Advocacy Committee meeting minutes and accept and file the State Legislative Advocacy Update. Next slide. So the presentation before you will go over a brief overview of the 2025 legislative session, how the city and its state representatives positioned on certain bills, how those bills will go into effect, and the outcome of the special election on Prop 50 earlier this November. In 2025, approximately 2,300 bills were introduced this session, with approximately 1,700 in the Assembly and approximately 1,000 in the Senate. Of those bills introduced, 1,247 of those bills were sent to Governor Gavin Newsom for review, and about 90% of those bills were signed into law, while a fraction at 10% were vetoed. Next slide. City staff actively monitored over 35 bills that could have impacts on current planning, housing, and transportation policies. While staff monitored over 35, the City of Torrance issued official positions on 20 specific bills in total, with 7 letters of support at 35% and 13 letters of opposition at 65%. You can find these letters along with the city's official legislative platform on the City of Torrance's website under the City Manager's Responsibilities link entitled Legislative Affairs. Next slide. These position letters were not only sent to the authors of each bill, but also to the state-level representatives who serve the City of Torrance. In the Senate, Ben Allen represents District 24, and in the Assembly, Al Marasucci representing District 66. Staff compared how well these state representatives' votes aligned with the city official positions, with Senator Allen having an alignment rate of approximately 35%, while Assemblyman Marasucci had an alignment rate of 45%. This alignment rate is calculated using the number of times a representative's vote aligned with city position letters and divided by the total number of position letters issued. So for example, Senator Allen voted in alignment with the city's position 7 times, and with 20 total position letters issued, his alignment rate is 7/20, making for 35%. While these numbers appear lower than anticipated, it is important to note that both representatives will be terming out of their respective positions in 2026, leaving both seats available for new representatives. This tells us that we operate in a high-volume legislative environment, and our current alignment with state representatives leaves room for improvement, highlighting an opportunity for stronger advocacy and engagement moving forward. Next slide. The chart in front of you shows city-supported bills, how each legislative representative voted, and the outcome of said bills. You will note that some sections should have a representative vote and appear blank with a dash. These boxes indicate that the bill did not move forward to the second house, and therefore no vote could have been counted. For example, AB 736 started in the Assembly but never passed into the Senate. Therefore, Senator Ben Allen was unable to vote on this bill. Additionally, some representatives chose not to vote on particular bills, therefore being recorded as a no vote. This chart, as well as the following, are listed in attachment 2 for your honorable body's specific review. Next slide. So similar to the previous chart, this chart shows city opposed bills with the corresponding outcomes and representative votes. Again, this chart is listed under attachment 2 for your in-depth review. While these charts only track state legislative representatives and their support or opposition to bills, a committee member made a request to include the following 3 organizations in upcoming legislative cycles: the League of California Cities, South Bay Cities Council of Governments, and Torrance chapter of the League of Women Voters. So just again to clarify, in upcoming legislative cycles, staff will be monitoring not only the state legislators, but the organizations listed as well on their positions and support of said bills. Next slide.
Can I jump in before you leave that slide? Unless we're doing it already, the other one we might have discussed was maybe take a look at what Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce position is.
Your Honor, Carlos Weezer, Management Associate, City Manager's Office, that is correct. That was just omitted by mistake. We will be including the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce as part of our analysis for future legislation.
Great. Yeah, because I think that's an important input for us to receive.
Thank you, Mayor. Now we'll take a brief look into the bills that have been signed into law and have been monitored by city staff. It is important to note that these bills have not and will not go into effect until January 1st, 2026, unless otherwise stated. Some bills have different effective dates and are notated in the following slides. City departments are currently looking into how these bills will be implemented and applied at the municipal level. Next slide. SB 79 is a California law aimed at increasing housing production around major transit stops. This bill establishes statewide height, density, and floor area ratio standards for residential projects built in near qualifying transit stations, effectively overriding more restrictive local zoning in these areas. To qualify for these enhanced development standards, projects must include a required share of affordable housing and meet specific eligibility criteria related to location, zoning, and minimal costs. The law applies primarily to larger urban counties with significant rail or high-capacity transit networks and becomes effective for most cities on July 1st, 2026. As mentioned in this slide, SB 79 does not have an immediate effect on Torrance. However, with the extension of the K line into Torrance, areas near the regional transit center will be subject to requirements. Next slide. AB 507 is a bill that requires local governments to ministerially approve adaptive reuse office to residential conversion projects statewide. To qualify, the building generally must be less than 50 years old, or if older, must comply with historic rehabilitation standards. The bill also includes affordability requirements. For rental conversions, this means either 8% of the units must be very low income and 5% extremely low, or 15% for lower income households. For ownership projects, 30% of units can be moderate income or 15% lower income. Note that this bill does have a later effective date of July 1st as opposed to January 1st start date. Next slide. So AB 893 expands ministerial approval for affordable housing near higher education campuses. The area near higher education campuses are defined as parcels within half a mile of a main campus of a University of California, Cal State University, or California Community College. This bill limits local control review of sites to only areas impacted by construction and modifies parking setback requirements, applying them only to above-ground parking. Finally, this bill requires HCD or the California Department of Housing and Community Development to include the results of said development in these campus development zones in its January 1st, 2031 outcomes report. Next slide. AB 1061 eliminates the historical district protections for SB 9 projects, such as urban lot splits on single-family zone parcels. This means that local agencies must treat SB 9 type duplex or lot split applications in historic districts as ministerial. This means no discretionary hearings unless the property is individually listed on the State Historic Resources Inventory or is a designated landmark. Next slide. AB 1154 was intended to be a minor cleanup to a California government code that handles existing parking exemptions for junior accessory dwelling units known as JADUs. This bill states that local governments are prohibited from imposing parking requirements for JADUs that are 500 square feet or smaller. Additionally, the bill removes the requirement for the homeowner to live in the main residence if the JADU has its own bathroom or sanitation facilities. Finally, the bill clarifies that the JADU must be rented for more than 30 days, which prevents them from being used as short-term rentals, such as Airbnbs. Next slide. SB 9 states that if a local ADU ordinance doesn't comply with state law and fails to respond to HCD's feedback, HCD can nullify a local ordinance, and the city or town must revert to the state ADU standards. Local governments are required to submit their ADU ordinances to HCD or update them within 60 days after adopting them. If a city fails to respond to HCD's required changes, the ordinance becomes void. Then developers must follow the state ADU law until the city fixes such local ordinance. Next slide. SBC 634 prohibits a local jurisdiction from adopting an ordinance or enforcing an existing ordinance that prohibits a person or organization from providing support services to a person who is homeless or experiencing homeless, or assisting a person who is experiencing homelessness with any act related to basic survival. Acts related to basic survival can include sleeping, protecting oneself from the elements, or other activities and items necessary for immediate personal health or hygiene. Next slide. SB 346 allows local governments to pass ordinances requiring short-term rental facilitators with platforms such as Airbnb to report the physical address, including the full zip code of every short-term rental in the jurisdiction. Local governments, such as cities or counties, can pass ordinances requiring short-term rental facilitators to report the physical addresses, whereas previously many short-term rental units are unlicensed or operating in a way that avoids local transient-oriented occupancy tax. SB 346 will help collect improved data to enforce transit occupancy tax collection. Next slide. SB 707 makes major updates to the Ralph M. Brown Act, which I know we are all familiar with, which governs open meeting rules and local agencies. These local agencies will need to revise their meeting procedures, website notices, policies, and handling teleconferences disruptions. While most of the new provisions take effect on January 1st, 2026, the requirements for eligible legislative bodies, like remote access and agenda translation, actually begin on July 1st, 2026, and remain in force until at least January 1st, 2030. Under SB 707, eligible bodies must translate meeting agendas into applicable languages defined as those spoken by 20% or more of the population who report speaking English less than very well. However, according to the 2019 through 2023 American Community Survey, only 11% of Torrance's residents who speak a language other than English are reported to speak it less than very well. Next slide. AB 339 requires local public agencies to give a recognized employee organization, such as a union, written notice before issuing a request for proposal, request for quotes, or renewing or extending a contract. This notice is required only if the contract is for work within the scope of work of job classifications represented by that employee organization. The original version required 120 days notice as opposed to the 45. Next slide. AB 253 is known as the Plan Check Shot Clock and Third Party Review Option Bill. This bill was declared as an urgency statute, so many parts of the bill have already taken place as of October 10th, 2025. This bill indicates that for certain residential projects, once an application is complete, the building department must give an estimated time frame to perform plan checks. If that estimated time frame exceeds 30 business days, or if the department fails to complete the check within 30 days, the applicant can hire a private licensed professional to do the plan check instead, which includes licensed architects or engineers. The private reviewer must submit an affidavit under penalty of perjury certifying that A, they did the review, and B, that the plans comply with all relevant state and local building code requirements. Next slide, please. AB 671 shall allow an applicant seeking a permit for a tenant improvement related to a restaurant to hire a qualified professional certifier. This certifier, at the applicant's expense, will confirm that the tenant improvement complies with all applicable building, health, and safety codes. The local building department or enforcement agency must approve or deny the permit application within 20 business days of receiving a complete application. If the agency does not act within said 20 business days, the certified plan is automatically deemed approved for permitting purposes, providing that all fees and documents have been submitted. If the department denies the initial application, the applicant may resubmit revised plans that address only the issues cited in the denial. Next slide, please. We're almost done, I promise. SB 627 makes it a crime for a law enforcement officer to wear a facial covering while performing their duties, unless certain exceptions apply, and also requires every law enforcement agency in California to adopt and publicly post a written policy limiting the use of facial coverings. And just as a point of clarification, during the previous state committee meeting, a committee member had asked whether or not the law covers masks that are worn for protection against COVID-19. And at that time, our Chief Dunn clarified that the new law does not prohibit the use of masks worn for medical purposes. Next slide. SB 635 prohibits an agency or department that regulates street vendors or compact mobile food operations or enforces sidewalk vending regulations from collecting citizenship or criminal background data and limits the activities that a local government can do to related immigration enforcement. Next slide, please. So again, just to, as a reminder, those are bills that have been passed that the city has actively been monitoring. Those bills have not been in effect yet, but will do so. So staff is currently monitoring how those bills will be implemented at the city level and how they will affect Torrance as a whole. But moving forward, now that the November 2025 special election has concluded, we'll quickly go over Proposition 50, which requires temporary use of a new congressional district map through 2030. So here on this slide, this map shows the Prop 50 redistricting results. Districts in green having a majority vote of yes, while those in red vote no. As of November 20th, 2025, the statewide November election saw almost 49% of registered voters head to the polls on this one issue special election. Almost 65% of those voters voted yes on Prop 50. Next slide. This slide shows two maps of California's current congressional districts. The map on the left-hand side show with 43 Democrat seats and 9 Republican seats. On the right-hand side, this map shows the newly voted redistricted areas that increase Democrat seats from 43 to 49 and decrease Republican-controlled seats from 9 to 4. If you look in the South Bay area, you can see that this redistricting effort will not affect the Torrance region and it will maintain its Democratic seat. The decisive victory for Democrats could signal a shift for several of California's Republican House members who now face critical decisions on whether to seek re-election in their current districts, pursue a new seat, or withdraw from the race altogether. Despite the electoral outcome, opposition has not subsided. As of a couple hours after the polls closing, California Republican leaders filed a lawsuit in federal court in Fresno challenging Prop 50. They contend that the redistricting plan under Prop 50 violates the 14th and 15th Amendments. It is important to note, however, that this new Prop 50 map will only be in use until 2030, when the commission will again redraw the districts. Next slide, please. This slide provides your honorable body with just some of the next steps for the state legislative advocacy team. November 21st is the deadline for departments to submit their proposed priority projects for appropriation and funding. Once those projects have been submitted, staff will do an internal review of submitted projects and proposals with our federal consultants to determine which projects will move forward in the process. Once the final projects have been reviewed, they will be presented to your honorable body for review and approval and will be ready for upcoming federal and state advocacy trips in 2026. Next slide. And with that, staff recommends acceptance and filing of the October 22nd, 2025 City Council State Legislative Advocacy Committee meeting minutes and accept and file this state legislative advocacy update. Staff is available for questions.
Thank you, Irene. At this moment, do any members of the public wish to speak on this item? Please come up to the microphone. You have 1 minute per speaker. Okay, I don't see any. I'll come back to the council. Any members of the council have questions, comments, clarifications? Councilwoman Lewis.
Thank you. Question for you. I think a lot of people here in Torrance fail to remember that we are a nonpartisan body. And in the last 3 years since I've sat here, I've not seen an alignment rate chart. When did we start creating that? Is that a new entity? And we've also not said that this is the first time I've ever seen this page before that states what a current sitting legislator, what their future political plans are. Is that a new iteration?
Your Honor, Danny Santana, City Manager's Office. I can answer the council member's question. Yes, it is a new iteration. On prior legislative advocacy trips, questions had come up as to how the Torrance position, advocacy trips and committee meetings, how the Torrance official position had aligned with our representatives in Sacramento, and staff was merely trying to include in the material an answer to that question.
Okay, so just our representatives and not based on the overall how the bill went, which is also in the chart, correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Councilman Kaji.
Thank you, Your Honor. Given the response from the public, I know that this is truly exciting stuff. I think that, once again, referencing Councilwoman Lewis's comment about how our two state representatives and their actions in Sacramento align with the city's position, I don't know how we can improve our position with those legislators, especially those who will be running for both the open seats in the Assembly and the Senate. But I do think we as members, and we vote as members of the council, and we do so in a nonpartisan way. I think we need to do a better job of communicating our concerns, because I'm not satisfied with this type of response, especially when we go to the effort of visiting the members in Sacramento and also when they're here in the district. So I'm hopeful that in this next go around and this next election cycle that we'll be able to express our views in advance of the next election, and that we can advance the city of Torrance's priorities going into the future. Thank you.
Councilman Gerson.
I disagree with my colleague. I was upset when this was brought last time, and I'm even more upset this time. It is not nonpartisan. Some of the bills were quite partisan, both at the state level and at the city level. The fact of the matter is that each of us is elected, and each of us has created relationships, whether good or bad, with our state legislators. And when those of us who have good relationships with our state legislators are excluded from conversations and votes about city positions, it does impact. So last year, I had to meet personally with the organization that gives the update to our advocacy, handpicked legislative advocacy team. And this year I did not. And so a lot of my education comes from actually talking to state legislators and getting their take rather than me coming with my own take, because this council is not educated in a way it should be with legislation that affects us so deeply. Yeah, so I'm even more upset. I will not be supporting the filing of this report. I want to see us do a better job of including all elected officials in educating us about what legislation is available. That's one thing that I got on the school district side so well. I knew so many bills that affected our school district, and when I got wind of some things that weren't being included by the consultant, I could go back and say, why are these things not included, and get and make sure that they cast a broader net to make sure that we're hearing things that impact us and that we care about. There are certain things that all of us can agree upon, and I saw that in the report, and I also saw a lot of things that we wouldn't agree on. And without a more rounded dialogue on city positions on certain things, it does not reflect all the opinions in the city of Torrance. So you can feel my frustration on this one. I am happy with who is coming forward as far as one side that I've already decided who I'd like to see get into the state legislature, and on the other side, on the Senate side, there's two people I'm trying to decide between whom I like, and discussions with them about local control has been a primary conversation as far as who would I endorse, and finding next state legislators who believe in local control and that the state has micromanaged way too much and gone too far. And the fact that some of us weren't fully armed when we go talk to our state legislators, because I know they reach out to me and ask me opinions on things, and I have to go back and do my own personal research, and I have to go find the bill online and read it myself, and then come back with an opinion. And so I would love to see the city educate all of us a little bit more on bills that affect us. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Okay, if I don't see any other comments or questions, I'll take a motion to accept and file the briefing for state legislative advocacy. Anyone?
I'd like to make a motion to accept and file the October 22nd, 2025 City Council State Legislative Advocacy Committee meeting minutes and accept and file the State Legislative Advocacy update.
Second.
Start voting, please. Your Honor, that motion carries with Councilmember Gerson and Kalani voting no and Councilmember Matucci absent.
Okay, let's see, where are we? Oral communications number 2, I believe. This portion of the meeting is reserved for comments on items not on the agenda. Under the Ralph M. Brown Act, the City Council cannot act on items raised during public comment, but may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed, request clarification, or refer the item to staff. Speakers and the orals are limited to either oral communications number 1 or oral communications number 2, and no longer than 1 minute per speaker. Time starts when you step up to the microphone. If presenting handout material to the council, please provide 11 copies to the city clerk before speaking. Handouts will be distributed while you speak. Do we have anyone who did not speak during oral communications number 1 who wishes to speak now? Please step up to the microphone right there. Okay. I don't believe anyone is coming up, so I will go to City Council orals. Let's see. Looking for the names here. Where are all the names? You know, I'm just going to start from my right. Councilman Gerson.
With Thanksgiving coming and the addition of our third teenager, it's made me rethink about all those families. You know, I came from a blended family, but families who adopt, families who foster, and the confusing labels that come around. And so this year, when I wish everyone a happy and warm Thanksgiving, I want to include all those families that don't fit into traditional categories. So have a wonderful, family-filled Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Councilman Kaji.
Thank you. I came back from a 2-week vacation in Japan and had a great time visiting the city of Oshu. So I had a chance to meet with the mayor and to visit their bullet train Shinkansen station to see their massive exhibit of all things Shohei Ohtani. And lucky me, I was also in Tokyo for the 7th game of the World Series, which started at 9 a.m. in Tokyo. And I was with a group of my Japanese friends who typically are very, very conservative, very buttoned up, don't really express themselves that much. But with the beer and sake flowing from 9 a.m., by the time we got to the end of the game, it was some kind of celebration in Tokyo. So, and that leads into the event this Thursday at 3 p.m. at the Mary Kay Giordano Regional Transit Center, where we will celebrate the Dodgers' repeat win in the World Series, and we'll be joined, I believe, online with our friends in Oshu and Bizen, Japan. So look forward to seeing you there, and look forward to a 3rd win. Thank you.
Thank you. I found my sheet here, but I'll continue. Councilwoman Kalani.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to wish everybody a wonderful start to the holiday season. And in doing so, shop local, please, especially on Black Friday. We have wonderful opportunities to shop throughout our city. I also want to give everybody the best wishes I can for a peaceful Thanksgiving. I know I'm thankful because I'm going to be a grandmother again on Friday. Yes, it is planned, a little girl. So just if you could keep safe travels for her, if you know what I mean, in your thoughts, that everything goes well. And I just want to say that I'm thankful for each and every one of the staff members that are here, for all the staff members, but grateful for you and all of you that live in our city and open your businesses in our city and work in our city and visit our city. Grateful for you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Shake.
Thank you. First of all, happy Thanksgiving to all. This couple of weeks were very busy for all of us. I had the opportunity to attend 2025 Lomita State of the City. I think Councilwoman Kalani was with me. We represented the city of Torrance. Also, I had the honor of representing our city and recognizing Board of Trustee Cliff Newmark for his dedicated service with a proclamation from the city of Torrance. To honor our veterans, multiple organizations had celebrations throughout the city. I had the honor of attending ceremonies at the Brookdale Living Facility and at the South Bay Christian School. Great celebration. And I have another important one. I forget what was that. I can't even read my writing. But that was my 30th anniversary of wedding anniversary with my wife. So happy anniversary, Jill. Thank you.
Happy anniversary. Councilwoman Lewis.
Jill, you go, girl. You had to put up with that for 30 years. Man, she's my like shero right now. She really is. Happy anniversary to you guys. You have a wonderful family, and wish you and Jill nothing but the best in the future. I also wanted to say that I had the very great honor and pleasure of hosting the Boy Scout troop number 218 in our chambers this past Sunday. We had a mock city council meeting where they made the determination of whether they were going to spend $1 million on a food fest, and with that they had to make a decision on what the featured food for the city of Torrance was going to be. And I have to tell you, these Boy Scouts have a number of age ranges from elementary school all the way up through high school. And the deliberation and the thought process that they put into choosing what Torrance's food was going to be was absolutely amazing. We had junior high schools talk about gluten-free options and vegan options, and I mean, just the thought and how much it was going to cost. And we had some of the parents to portray some of you guys, city manager, finance director, community services director, and to hear a sixth grader say, have we thought of how much it's going to cost for the pizza ovens to be installed in all of the restaurants, just gave me a glimpse that, you know, we're very fortunate to have the education and foundation that we do here in the city of Torrance, for them to come up with a host of different reasons, pro and con, about what the official food of Torrance was going to be. It came down to 3 options. It was Korean barbecue, pizza, and pasta. And it even got into, I mean, they were even doing the customizable options. That was, you know, the reason that we wanted pasta is because you can use the Italian pasta or you can use ramen, because you could use that as a pasta base. So just the creativity was absolutely, positively amazing for them, and I'm so happy that they joined. I also want to wish everyone a happy Turkey Day. Looking forward to the turkey trot and looking forward to my favorite thing to see at the turkey trot, which is John LaRock's turkey hat. It won't be the same without it. We're going to need that. And also, I appreciated the Veterans Day celebration. I wanted to especially thank one of our members in the audience, one of our residents, Charlie Salinas, who wrote a beautiful, beautiful poem that we should have had for last council session, but we just received it today. So if you will indulge Councilwoman Kalani and I just a little bit, I've asked her to join in because it's kind of long, but I'll read it pretty quickly. Charlie, this is my tour and maybe yours. We were office kids at a California beach waiting for a wave. Another family farm working hard, baling hay. A kid from Ohio at the corner Texaco pumping gas. Our friend from Maine had a small business cutting grass. We went to war because America needed men, not knowing they asked again, and again. The rich sent their sons to college. They could have volunteered, but they knew what that meant. 20,000 lost by 1968, and that's when the wise men told Johnson, get out before it's too late. My best friend in Vietnam was my M16. Never let me down, I always kept it clean. Never put more than 18 rounds in a 20-round mag. We drank warm water from that old canvas bag. Tracers and flares lit up the night. It was such relief when came the morning light.
We took lives and saved lives without hesitation. After a few months, we learned there was no regulation. Our leaders had planned not to win the war. We began to wonder what the hell we were there for. I am challenged at using words that could be deemed inappropriate. In words before, those who served were heroes, and that's a fact. When we made it home, we found out our country did not want us back. With broken hearts, we went on with our lives, never understanding why we couldn't get close to our kids or our wives. Through the years, we wondered why so many were lost and we didn't die. Alone with our memories, we don't know what to do. And then we joined others that knew. Now the days grow short, the nights grow long. Oof. But the bond between us is still strong. Through trauma and drugs and the bottled rage, we sit here today defying old age. Yes, we've won.
Thank you to all the veterans out there, including my father, who is a veteran from the Vietnam War. So thank you.
Thank you. Once again, I guess we will continue to thank you, all veterans, for your service. And I think the only thing I was going to add today, I think Councilwoman Lewis already said, well, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and get some rest. And I hope to see all of you at the turkey trot, and bright and early. Hopefully the rain does not come. What does the forecast say? All right, and we're going to have that nice inflatable arch at the starting line. That was a great addition. I just want to thank you for that. As we conclude this evening's meeting, I want to thank you for your active participation and interest in staying informed. Your involvement continues to help shape Torrance and keep us moving forward. Thanks to City Cable for sharing our meetings live. In case you miss any portion of this meeting, you can find the archive online at torranceca.gov, YouTube, and Facebook. I'll take a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I move that we adjourn tonight's City Council meeting to Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025 at 5 p.m. for closed session with regular business commencing at 6:30 p.m. in the Leroy J. Jackson Council Chamber. Tuesday, November 25th, 2025 is a City Council dark night.
Second.
Start voting, please. Your Honor, that motion carried with Councilmember Matucci absent.
All right, 8:04 p.m. Good night.